Hello, I'm Gary Lyon, and this is the 2015 wash-up for the Collingwood Football Club. No September action for the Pies for the second year in a row, and you get a sense the natives maybe getting a bit restless. Damien Barrett, are you a native?
I'm not a native, but I'm getting restless as to where this team is at. And I think if the natives are getting restless, and they are, they've got good reason to, guys. The last 2 years, particularly the back halves of those years, have been horrendous, and you can't put any other word around it. I know you've got a soft spot for where this club's going, but I'm not convinced.
Horrendous is a bit aggressive from you.
What, two wins out of the last 11? You don't think that's horrendous?
Let's see if we can find a highlight before we let you loose on the lowlights. I thought the emergence of Darcy Moore, a father, son, Brownlow medalist, Peter Moore there, and this was his announcement game, if you like.
Yep.
He kicked 5 goals against the Western Bulldogs. We'll see more of those shortly. But look, he had to work his way in. He had an interrupted summer and then had to play some VFL footy. And I think there were people going, well, how good is this kid? You know, we took him as a father-son. It cost us a fair bit. Well, as the season wore on, he's going to be a beauty. So he's the sort of player you need. Mobile, quick, tall, so nice highlight.
And he did all he could in his first year?
Did all he could,
yep,
and more. Could you find a highlight for this club?
Yeah, I could, and it was pretty easy in the end. Dane Swan goes, I reckon this time last year we were doubtful, weren't we, if he had any good football left. But 22 matches later, or a season later, we know he does. And obviously the problems last year were injury-driven. He had a really, really good year. And I reckon he stood up at times when others around him weren't up to it.
He's a fantastic story. I mean, you look at him, you think he's not fast, he doesn't run that well, but he was racking up huge numbers and went forward. I think that's probably where he's going to play in the back half.
I like that move. Yeah. He's got goal sense, hasn't he? He always did have it, but yep, isolating him down there could well be the key to what lies ahead for him as much as the club. Low light? Well,
let me just follow your lead. The second half fade-outs, they are a low light, there's no doubt about that. I wouldn't use the word horrendous, you have. They were 8 and 3 both of the last 2 years. This year they've gone 10 and 12 for the year, whereas it was 11-11 the year before. And that is a concern. I mean, you can spin it every way you want. And I'm part of the positive.
You are. Very positive for a team that hasn't performed.
Yeah, but that is a pretty disappointing thing. Now, settle back, because this might take a while. What were your lowlights?
My highlight was Travis Cloke and his teammates who just could not kick goals that they're paid money to kick, yes?
Oh, I'm with you, Damo. I'd like to argue with you, but I'm with you.
How do you miss goals like that?
Well, these were real critical misses too, at times. I mean, as part of my positive push on this side is they were so competitive against Hawthorn, Sydney and Freo. That's a winnable game, and they kept missing gettable goals. So.
And Elliott missed, I mean, you see him miss there, but he missed them as well, and normally you just lock it away for a goal.
Look at this.
Well, that's not a surprise with him, and we'll touch on him in a moment, but you don't expect him to do it, or what he'd see it shown to this point of his career, Elliott. He was as guilty as any of them when it came to the
No, I'm with you. I can't argue with that. Christmas bonus comes to Christmas. Who's going to get a little bit extra in their Santa sack? Well, it's very hard to change the perception of you as a footballer once you've been in the system for a long time. And the perception of Trav Varco was that his best was behind him, that he hadn't worked hard enough as a footy player, and that Geelong were almost happy, not happy to see him go, but were content to let him go. Look at this. That's a reinvented footballer, that right there. That is defensive intent, tackling intensity. Therefore, you get a large and sizable Christmas bonus. Yes, large.
Well, I agree with you. This time last year, we thought he was gone, didn't we? And I questioned the recruitment, but he was very good. I'm giving it to another recruit as well, Gaz. Only a small bonus, though. Taylor Adams. I thought he was good. Throughout the course of the 22 weeks, I thought he was good. But I'm not talking massive bonus, just a little one, just a little encouragement reward.
What, a weekend away style?
Maybe a weekend away, somewhere in Victoria.
Yeah, well, they reckon Copeland Trophy stuff, he's going to finish top 3 or 4, so that's the sort of result you need. And look, he's a talented footballer. He had a couple of little brain fades throughout the course of the year, but
that's him, isn't it?
That is him.
You'd get that with him.
But he also allows Swan to go forward and kick goals, so that's a nice win.
Chopping block, who are you putting on it today?
Well, I've got a couple. There are a couple. Well, you've got to turn them over. So Clinton Young's been at that footy club for a long time, so this young brigade coming in are going to pass him. Patrick Karnisis was recruited perhaps as a mobile forward that might kick goal, didn't prove to be the case. I think Tony Armstrong's had enough, so there's 3.
Okay. Jesse White's mine. Still, so far into his career, we just don't know what we're going to get with him, and he's no better placed by way of the big picture than what he was when he was still at Sydney, potentially being a promising player. Just hasn't worked out for him. I know he's contracted, so he's not going anywhere, but...
Gone. From your point of view, what do they need to step up and improve? And I'm serious about this. They need to employ a goal-kicking coach. And I know who it is. Matthew Lloyd appears to be able to get the job done, but, you know, I don't care who it is. Invest the time and the money and the energies because it's costing the footy club.
Is it that simple?
Well, what's the alternative? Do nothing. So you've got to have someone in there. You've got to have someone specifically there to help them convert opportunities. What about you?
Well, I'm just going to try and argue they need to actually hold up their position in the back half of the year. It's all very well to go at 8-3 in the first half of the year, but if you're going to fall away, it's looking very bad. If it happens again, even you will be convinced there's an issue there.
You are a native. There's no question about that. You're a native. Give me up, down or stagnate.
Well, I'm going stagnate because I just don't see the rosy future that you and your cohorts seem to share about this footy club.
Up, up,
Oh,
up.
of course.
For the Magpies, oh, by God, I hope they go up. Oh, no, I do. I genuinely think they'll go up. And I think they will contend for finals.
They wouldn't want to go down.
They wouldn't, Damien, because then I'd have to eat humble pie, and I don't like doing that, particularly where you're involved. Thank you very much. That is the wash-up for the Pies in 2015.
New Gurney Power Grip. Available at Bunnings Warehouse.